Like, look at this. Alright, so welcome back to my channel, you guys. I wanted to go ahead and do a lazy summer makeup routine, okay, because y'all, I've been lazy with my makeup, but I've been loving the way it looks at the same time. I get so many more compliments with this routine versus when I do a full beat. I don't know why. But anyways, I do want to point out my audio may be a little bit different because my phone is what I usually use to record my voice, and it's acting up right now, so we just have to go ahead and use the camera's audio, which is totally fine. But besides that, when it comes to me going to work, you guys know I work a full-time job. I have to wake up so early every morning. I don't have time to do a full beat, so I've been doing my lazy makeup routine, which I've been loving. Honestly, it's so fast, it's easy. I can do it within like 10 minutes if I was, you know, rushing. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys what that looks like. So if you're interested, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so jumping into it, I do have a clean face. I literally have nothing on my face today but just my brows. So let's go ahead and start with primer. Okay, I always have to prime. I use the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush primer, which has been my favorite. It is super expensive, but it does work. So I go ahead and always put this in my T-zone mostly, just because I'm always oily. And then I also realized, y'all, I didn't apply my skincare. Oh my goodness. I was doing like, you know, my mask this morning and I washed it off, but I didn't follow up with my moisturizer. So yeah, it will still look good regardless, but I don't know how I forgot. So we're gonna tap this into the skin like so and let it set. Now you gotta give your primer a little bit of time to set. Don't just go into your makeup. So while that's doing that, I'm going to apply just some bronzer in my crease. Usually I do recommend using an eye primer, like a clear eye primer, but I haven't gotten one yet. I only have like eye bases, which are super, you know, opaque and just give you a lot of color on the eyes. But I just want a simple eye primer that's, you know, clear and invisible, so I can just apply my eyeshadow on top, because I told you guys in the morning I don't have time. So I'm taking my Tilbury Airbrush bronzer and I'm just gonna go back and forth in my crease. Okay, so having my lashes done does make it a little bit more easier because it does darken this part, so it looks like I have a little bit of like eyeliner going on. But I'm just gonna take this and throw it in my crease just like so. So hopefully you guys can see the difference between this eye and this one. It just adds a little bit of something. So I added just a little bit of color, okay? And it just adds something to the eyes. I can't describe it, y'all, but it brings everything together, okay? So we're now gonna move on to the face. We're not gonna wear any foundation all over the face. We're gonna keep it pretty simple because right now you guys can see my under eyes are super dark. So what I do is I take my Rare Beauty foundation in the shade 460W, and we're gonna take a little bit of this and tap it just like that, okay? Because even though it's super liquidy, it does give you a lot of coverage. And I'm just covering up the areas that are pigmented and have like hyperpigmentation. And that's pretty much it. So that's all we're gonna do for the face. Just covering up areas that need to be covered. If you're lucky enough to have everything as one skin tone, then, you know, I'm jealous of you, okay? But for me, it's not like that. So what I'm gonna do now is take my Path McGrath Labs Concealer in the shade MD22. I'm gonna take a little bit of this, more so in the inner corner, just like that, and then a little bit on my forehead, and that's it. Okay, that's it. So now I did go ahead and recently picked up this brush. It's from Morphe and it's the M536 brush. I've always seen people use this and I just feel like it's very easy when it comes to blending underneath your eyes and around your face. So I finally got it and I will say it's so worth it. It just does what it needs to do, okay? The way it's shaped makes it super easy to go right underneath the eyes and blend out everything. But I'm gonna start off right here and just tap the foundation into the skin. And I'm super lucky to have this foundation match my skin tone. So the trick is to find a foundation that literally matches you, okay? You don't want it too light or too dark. You want it to blend just right into your skin. So even though I didn't blend this all the way, you can kind of tell it just flows right in. So it doesn't look like I'm really wearing any makeup, okay? So I'm gonna blend that out. And all you're doing is just tapping this in. And this brush is perfect. Like, it blends it out, but it still gives you a little bit of coverage, okay? Because back in the day, I used to use my sponge and do this, but it would take up, it would take so much of the foundation that there wasn't really much left on my skin. But with a brush, it just blends right in. So I'm gonna blend the top part as well. And the whole thing is, like, when you guys do this, okay, do not expect your skin to look super flawless. We want to look put together, but it's not going to give you like that, you know what I'm talking about, like when you beat your face, it's not going to give you that look. This is just your skin but better, okay? So you're going to still see like some of my dark marks peeking through, or, you know, whatever on my face, but I'm not trying to look perfect. I just want to look put together. So we're going to blend that out. All right, now we're gonna blend the under eyes, and all I'm doing is just mixing the two, so the foundation and the concealer together, and it will kind of give you an under eye highlight, but it's not like, oh my gosh, you're wearing concealer underneath your eyes, you know what I mean? So it gives me a little bit of brightness mixing the concealer and foundation together. So I blended this part of the eyes, and you can kind of see what I mean. It literally matches my skin, but it's just a little bit lighter, you know, to give me a little bit of highlight. So what I'm gonna do right away is set my under eyes using my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in the shade Kunafa. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and set it right away because I do not want it to crease, okay? So just like that, you guys can see my face is a lot more put together. You can honestly stop right here, but I just want to take it a little bit further. So what I use next is my Makeup Forever powder in the shade Y505, and this is the matte velvet skin powder. I am obsessed with this powder because you can go ahead and put it all over your face, and it doesn't look like you're wearing foundation, but it blurs your skin and makes it look super flawless, okay? Because back in the day, I used to think that you can only use liquid foundation to achieve a flawless face, but this powder foundation, y'all, is so good, and I always recommend it. So I did kind of break it a little bit, but I will show you guys how I use it. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, and it's a buffer brush. And we're gonna take some of this powder like so and just dab it on the skin to set everywhere else, okay? Because depending on your skin type, if you have a lot of blemishes, you may need a little bit more coverage. So this is why I recommend this powder, because I'm applying it all over my skin. But when you compare this side and the other side, I mean, it doesn't look that much of a difference, okay? But it is covering up some of my dark marks. So again, going into the powder and just pressing it into the skin like so. And it just always looks so good. I'm telling you guys, I've tried a lot of powders out there, but this one just gives me that flawless look every single time. And then I'm gonna take some onto the forehead. I really don't apply too much up here because we are gonna slightly bronze, but at the same time, I just wanna make sure that everything looks even. I'm gonna add a little bit of powder. Okay, so now this is what the skin is looking like, you guys, okay? Looking really good, super smooth, flawless, and no liquid foundation. That's crazy. So what I'm gonna do now is actually bronze my face, and I have been loving the Chanel Les Beige, if I'm saying it correctly, cream healthy glow bronzing cream, sorry, $3.95 Soleil Tan Deep Bronze. So that's what it's called. It's a whole long name, which is why I was getting super confused. But I have been taking my Real Techniques stippling brush to use this product, and it's been looking so good on the skin. All right, this is what it looks like in case you guys are wondering. It smells really good as well. Like I told you guys in my video when I did review it, I did, you know, obviously wish that they had darker colors, but it is what it is at this point. Okay, so I'm gonna take my stippling brush and take some of this product and start off in my cheeks, and I'm just gonna go back and forth with this, and you'll start to see how beautiful it looks on the face. It just adds like the most natural bronze onto the skin and also glow as well. Okay, so I just go back and forth like this, and it's so pretty. So I'm gonna take some of this onto my stippling brush and go back and forth onto the skin, and you guys can kind of see what that looks like. It adds a nice glow, but at the same time it's not too much. And I love the color of this for my skin tone, because most bronzers out there are super red on the skin, but this is a true chocolate tone bronzer. Okay, and I look at that glow and look at just how it adds a little bit of color onto my face, but it's not doing too much, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep adding this and stippling it, and then bring it on the apples of my cheeks, and then we're gonna take some of this onto the forehead as well. So I'm gonna pat and bring that around. Super pretty, you guys. I love this stuff. Like once I figured out how to use it, because I was using my sponge the first time I tried this out, it soaks up too much of the product, but when you use a stippling brush, it looks really stunning on the skin. So we're gonna add that all over, and like look at that, y'all. Like look at this. Look at how beautiful that looks on the skin. Like, obsessed. And then I'm gonna go back in and use my sponge just to really blend it into the skin, like so. And I'm gonna go back in with my Huda Beauty loose powder just to bring some more highlight into the skin, because I bronzed a little bit too much. I'm just gonna set that area again and on the forehead. So now moving on to my favorite part, you guys. We're almost done. I'm actually gonna use my Milk Makeup cream blush in the shade Swerve, and it's an orangey blush, you guys. I have been obsessed with it because it looks so stunning on the skin. So what I'm gonna do is actually put it onto the back of my hand. I'm gonna put a good amount of product there, just like that. And then we're gonna take my sponge, dab into it, and then apply it on the face. Okay, so what it's gonna do is add a little bit more of a bronzy orangey tone to the skin, and it looks so natural. So I'm gonna go back in again, tap, 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 and then bring it onto the apples of my cheek. So I hope you guys can see the difference with this. Like this is what this side looks like, and this is what this side looks like. It just adds a little bit more of an orangey tone to the skin. So moving on to highlighter, I'm actually gonna mix two today. I've been using the Chanel Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid, and then also using my Merit Beauty Bounce highlighter right on top. So this is kind of like a base for my highlighter because it does dry down and it's a liquid. So we're gonna take this like so and just tap it on the skin. Okay, so pretty, you guys. I just tap it like this And a little bit goes a long way. And now I'm gonna use the Merit Beauty Bounce highlighter and take this right on top. So I love mixing these two together because it really does give me like that wet look on the skin. And I'm always obsessed with it. I'm gonna put this here as well. All over. So lastly for the lips, I'm gonna take my Beauty by Chi Chi Silhouette Lip Liner all over, and then I'm gonna use my Merit Beauty Lip Oil in this shade Marrakech, if I said it correctly. So yeah, it's a super pretty color alongside my lip liner. I'm gonna go back and forth, line it up, and then throw it in the middle. Alright, so let me zoom you guys in so you guys can see my face up close. But this is what my skin looks like, you guys. I am obsessed with it. I am telling you, if I wasn't talking to you guys, I would be done with this look maybe in like 10 minutes, okay? Because your girl, I've been waking up late every morning, so I really don't even have time. 10 minutes to 15 minutes is all I have, and this is the face that I go to work with every day, and I'm obsessed with it. So if you don't want to wear foundation like that in the summertime, this look is definitely for you. If you do go ahead and try it out, let me know your thoughts down below. But I love you guys so much. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys